something's wrong with me.
Can't think of any positives.
What's happening to me?
You know, my CGM work, sugar, am I taking insulin?
Do this, you need
Why
to
did I
do
have to get
that.
diabetes?
The day starts and ends with checking your blood sugar. I don't think that's how a day should start and end. Most people think you can take one injection in the morning and you're good. But taking the injections is the easiest part of what I do every day. I'm 62, and I'm newly diagnosed. In that early first few weeks, I was really afraid to tell people. And I think that came from maybe a sense of shame or embarrassment. I felt that if I'm diabetic, something's wrong with me. And I don't want to admit that I'm failing. In my early 20s, I came out, as a gay man, and it was that same feeling, this idea of having to choose who to tell. I don't know if they were related, but I felt they were. Some people just don't want to know that much about how it is because it's overwhelming, I think, for anyone to think that's how you live your life. Holy shit. This constant feeling of being overwhelmed by all that you have to do, because any screw up can lead to a really big problem.
Hooah! Boom!
Did you just try to shoot it through at Shaquille? Like what? Do you know
I don't know all the
anything about
different
basketball?
stats, okay?
Shaq can't shoot a free throw if his life depended on it.
I'm Shaq, let's go!
Who was that?
You gave me a foul, you pushed me.
I just want to be able to be living my life with diabetes the way it's meant to be lived, with like a perfect amount of insulin. And I do not whatsoever do not want to be in such, I do not want to be in an inescapable hole of diabetes.
My fear, I felt like it was not spoken about enough, was dying sooner than we should. Of course, we can get hit by a bus tomorrow, but the real question is this disease gonna take away some years from my life if I don't control these days the rest of my life, Diabetes made me feel like I had to be perfect. Blood sugars had to be, stellar, amazing, and if they didn't go my way, I was going the complete opposite direction. I went through so much with being a perfectionist, and that degraded my mental health in the beginning to the point where it's like, you know what? I'm gonna live my life this way, where I'm not gonna be so married to the results, where I'm just like, it is what it is, I'm gonna roll the punches, and I have to move forward.
Dude, I'm so hungry, I could eat a cow. I'm tired. Rice and beans?
Yes. The amount of people who have told me I need to cut down on my sugar is insane.
It's not caused by sugar. You gotta stop. That's very outdated.
Like, I go to get a spearmint, and, like, everyone's panicking as if it's gonna kill me or something, and I try to explain to them that I can just give myself insulin, and they still don't let me have it. Ew! Who does that?
That's not
Me.
ill. I do that sometimes.
What is wrong with you people?
Can you tell me more about that independence that it gives you and that faith in yourself?
The independence in managing my own blood sugar, like being able to control if I'm gonna live or die that day, it's kind of cool. I mean, I mean, that's probably a horrible way of putting it, but that's really what diabetes management is all about.
One day I was riding a train into Manhattan, and in checking my blood sugars, I would open my glucometer, and there's a lancet that pricks your finger. So I pricked my finger to check my blood sugar levels, and all of a sudden somebody from behind me kind of popped his head up and came around and kind of sat across from me. He's like, "Are you type 1?" And I said, "Yeah." He's like, "I'm type 1." And I was like, "Wait, really? Like you look so normal. Like I didn't know anybody else was kind of, I mean, I did, but I never met anyone." And he was like, "What are your levels at? What did you eat this morning? Do you need anything? I've got a snack in my bag." And it was like such a, just like a relief to know that somebody else knew what I go through every day. And now when I get connected to other type 1s, I mean, and I feel like it's this way for most people, we'll drop everything for each other.
When I don't take care of my diabetes, I'm not trying to hurt my parents, but I feel like I'm hurting them. The problem is I want to do it more for them than for me. And it's okay to feel like I want to do it for them, but it's just, how can I help them if I can't help myself? That's what it feels like. That's the kind of pressure it feels.
It all happened really fast. I was just trying to get through this silly show and survive without dying nightly. And this went on for like a year. I feel most misunderstood, honestly, when I'm around my family. It's always like this moment of judgment. You need to do this, you need to do that, as opposed to trying to understand why I'm making the decisions that I am making nutritionally. These statements are made usually without any knowledge of how I'm doing or how I'm caring for myself. It's just assumed that I'm not caring for myself. I wish people were more conscious of the things they say and how they affect people, especially people who are struggling just to have a decent day.
Through fragility, I learned to be strong for myself and for others.
If you tell yourself, I'm gonna dedicate my time to learning and listening and opening my ears, your life won't be as complicated with diabetes.
We are the same people as you, so we don't need any special treatment. We can do anything that a normal person does, and sometimes even better.
For me, finding a community has been incredible, and it is like therapy in the absolute best way.
Whenever I come in contact with someone who's struggling, I just let them know that it's okay to go through these changes. It will eventually land you in a space to where you can just care for yourself.
I'm not afraid to open up. I'm not afraid to tell people I need help. And that's something I learned in this whole process.